Oh, man. Can you believe that Scooby-Doo was 55 years ago? I can't believe it either. But of course, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what Scooby-Doo is point, but of course, it's a story about basically a gang and a talking dog solving mysteries. Very simple, it aired in 1969. It's a franchise that's still going strong to this very day. Has so many iterations, so many stuff about it. And of course, like many people, I grew up with the franchise. I grew up watching the movies. I grew up watching these characters and connecting with them. I grew up watching certain movies so many times on Cartoon Network. I grew up watching a lot of the shows. Like, Scooby-Doo is a very beloved franchise, and for good reason, honestly, because like, both the mysteries are fun, the story can be engaging, at least the recent thing where they started to focus more on the story. But it's really because of the characters and the charm is what makes them so interesting. And of course, the fact that they're telling Dog and Scooby-Doo, so, yeah. So I knew when discussing ideas to do on the Nostalgia Road Trip series, I knew one of them was going to be Scooby-Doo. But which one should I do first, honestly? And I just don't want to do the whole franchise because it's a lot to go for. So I decided, hey, let's do the live action movies. So yeah, for this episode, I will be discussing the 4 Scooby-Doo live action movies that we have gotten so far. The 2002 movie, the 2004 Monster Unleashed movie, and the 2 direct-to-DVD once again Cartoon Network, The Mystery Begins, A Curse of Lake Monster. As it actually has been years since I've seen any of these movies, so I used to watch them religiously growing up, so I wasn't sure how my thoughts were going to be on them. So basically this is just me like discussing these movies and of course discussing my thoughts on them. I had been watching it many years ago, so I still hope you'll enjoy. Definitely feel free to let me know your thoughts on these movies down below in the comments, and let's have a nice chill discussion. But anyways, we got 4 movies to talk about, so let's get started with Scooby-Doo 2002. This one's directed by Roger Gonzalez. Nothing but this is the guy who did Home Alone 3, Never Kissed, the sequel, Yours, Mine, and Ours, Billy Goes Chihuahua, the 2 live action Sponge movies, because what you didn't learn, and the 2018 movie Show Dogs, which, when I see movies like, what is Show Dogs? Because me, you don't want to know. But it's also known to be written by James Gunn. Yes, that James Gunn. And it stars Freddie Prinze Jr. as Fred Jones, Sarah Michelle Gellar as Daphne Blake, Matthew Lillard as Shaggy, Leonard Carney as Belma, and you will get appearance from Elsa Fisher. I believe this is one of her first roles, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this movie is basically the first live action version of the characters, where basically after an incident in a toy factory and after a lot of back and forth and arguing each other and everything, with Daphne being sick of being there's no stress, Freddie because they got very hog and they credit for damage stuff, they end up disbanding. And they reunite in a few years later when they get invited to investigate a mystery at a popular horror-themed tropical island resort. So yeah, I remember when this movie came out. I remember I used to watch this constantly in school and everything, so I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the 2002 movie after so many years. This movie I don't think was really well received, but it's kind of getting a little bit of cult following recently. So I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this rewatch. And I'm happy to say that honestly, I actually really still enjoyed it actually. Well, of course it's far from perfect obviously, but it has a nice 2000s charm to it that makes it worth watching. And also, this is not the case, but I think it's really the cast that elevates it. I think they get some pretty great cast members. Of course, you got Matthew Lillard, Shaggy Rogers, who I believe is still playing the character to this day correctly, and I mean for good reason, because, well, yeah, because Matthew Lillard is Shaggy Rogers. Like, I don't think there's anybody that embodies Shaggy more than Matthew Lillard. Like, true to God. This guy just embodies Shaggy. This guy pretty much embodies what makes Shaggy such a beloved character. Because, personally to me, I always thought Shaggy was my favorite. So obviously, it's Scooby-Doo, but but I always loved Shaggy, honestly. He's so chill, fun, and hilarious, has some of the best lines. And Matthew Lillard plays the titular character to the T. Getting the mannerisms, the charm, the charisma, pretty much everything that makes Shaggy such a beloved character. And he really embodies that charisma so thoroughly in many scenes. And of course, back with Scooby-Doo, who I believe is actually always played by Neil Phoenix, Oh, he's played by Neil Fanning in this movie, who does a really good job playing the character. Of course, he's not Frank Welker, but he does a really good job playing Scooby-Doo. Then you got Fred Pierce Jr., who does really good as Fred, buying that character. Sarah Michelle Gellar, buying Daphne. And Lena Carney is also one of the first roles. Yeah, I don't know, but she does a pretty good job playing Velma here as well. And a lot of back and forth between each other was pretty good as well. And you also get appearance from Rowan Atkinson as Montverius, who also has some pretty fun liners as well. And even as a Fisher plays Renee Small as Mary Jane, which, if you know, which honestly I think the joke writes itself on that one, but it was also pretty good and has a really nice back and forth between Shaggy throughout the movie. Again, it's really the chemistry and the back and forth between a lot of the cast members is what makes this movie so fun. Hell, even the mystery isn't half bad either, honestly. It's definitely where they end up. The awesome. I'm not sure if I actually want to feel who mystery was, honestly, but it ends up being kind of a fun joke and a fun jab to if you're like our fans Scooby-Doo, and make some pretty hilarious moments throughout when it ends up being revealed, honestly. And there's a point where you never really know what's really going on, honestly, until all the mystery stuff ends up being kind of predictable. It's still a pretty solid mystery as a whole. And overall, it does have some solid humor. Again, it goes through that like very 2000s type of humor, but in the best way, honestly. There are a lot of moments that did end up bringing smiles to my face, and especially if you love these characters. Again, the acting may be the best. There are points that I will lie on that, and the CGI is pretty rough. Like CGI, like these movies, like if there's one crazy thing I can say about all these movies, the CGI is rough, like really rough. And at the point where I was like, yeesh. Go tell a little time in the edit room, honestly. I like it. The mystery is kind of reputable towards the end, honestly. Maybe some of the humor jokes didn't land. Maybe the pacing could have been tightened up a little bit, even though it's like only 86 minutes. I think it was a little bit too quick at times. But as well, if you basically love the Scooby-Doo franchise, you'll definitely enjoy this. Again, I'm glad to still have a good time, but while it definitely isn't perfect, it's like breaking the wheel or anything like that. It's a pretty solid, fun adventure that does embody these characters, that does a really solid job on bringing these characters to the live-action screen. And it could also go with some really decent arcs as well, while they end up being predictable arcs. At least they're decent. And I think that the way they end up bringing them in the beginning is kind of rushed and kind of just out of nowhere. At least how they handle that, obviously. But as a whole, pretty solid movie. I probably give it. I definitely went out against like a B or a B plus, but I'm actually tuned towards B plus on this one. And 2 years later, we will get the sequel, Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Also, one thing I forgot to mention about 2002 minutes, supposedly James Gunn actually won a rated R movie, actually. Supposedly, he actually wanted to be a rated R Scooby-Doo movie, which honestly, I would love to see a Scooby-Doo rated R movie, honestly. And actually, that'd be interesting to get the right cast to play it. But unfortunately, it didn't materialize that. Reportedly, James Gunn actually still wants that. Yeah, but now we get to Monsters Unleashed, which again, similar to the first one, I did watch a lot at school. I did watch a lot when it was airing, obviously. Again, you basically got the same cast as well, playing these characters as well. You also got Seth Green, Peter Boyle, Tim Wilson, Alicia Silverstone. Now, basically, started with Mr. Ames, our guest as honor at the opening of the Cozy Museum, where you see a masked villain shows up and ends up creating havoc, forcing the costume of the gang's most notorious villains. So this one basically is obviously kind of a nod to a lot of Scooby-Doo aspects and everything and what goes on. And I can say after watching Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed is honestly a better sequel, and honestly, it's improvement in the first movie in pretty much every way, honestly. Yeah, it's another film that also got a lot of negative attention, but ended up seeing kind of a cult following. But honestly, I really had a great time with the movie, honestly. I think it's much better paced than the original. It's much better well handled. The mystery is a lot more engaging here. But it's actually kind of a little surprising. You also got a lot of nice nods to the actual Scooby-Doo franchise. A lot of nice to the old monsters, the old monsters. Again, CGI still sucks, honestly. In fact, it was probably the worst of the CGI aspects I mentioned. But it was starting to see them on the big screen, obviously. And again, you got characters going from like nice arcs, like most notably Shaggy and Scooby, with them, being criticizing them messing up everything, and them trying to really prove themselves, and then trying to be real detectives and basically trying to be better people. And which I think is actually a really solid arc for these characters. Again, predictable, but pretty solid as well. So you get more like pretty hilarious moments. Again, that this guy scene Scooby is always so not always makes me laugh. And it's I still actually think about it honestly randomly. You know, I haven't seen this movie in years, and there's also Nummy that's Nummy is I really don't do that. But anyway, it's got a nice world building cool spill and what goes on with the world and everything, and again, also again with Mr. Incorporated and what they've been through throughout the years. Again, you get a lot more great back and forth between a lot of the characters, more Lord Shaggy and Scooby, and while development that like again a little less to do this time around, they still do a good job bringing this character. Again, Matthew Lillard, yeah, still Shaggy, and everyone does a really good job of characters. Even the new characters we get, again from Seth Green, Peter Burley, Tim Blake Shelton, Alicia Silverstone, they all do a pretty well job of the role, honestly. Even the voice acting from the monsters was pretty good as well. And you get some really nice back and forth and some hilarious moments. Again, CGI still sucks. It's one of the only like true major negative I think I have, honestly. I mean, some jokes don't land. Those are really the only major negatives I really have with the movie. Like, generally, of all four of these movies, this one might land as my favorites. This one I can definitely always see myself come back to very often. It's by far my favorite one of the bunch, obviously, and I don't think I really have much else to say about it. It's as fun and as great as I remember it being, and I probably will go A- on this movie. Yes, I'm going A- on a Scooby-Doo live action movie. It's a great time. What can I say? Now, honestly, this is what I was most excited and curious to actually talk about. Because again, I watched, like the previous movies, I watched the movie constantly when it was airing, and like, ooh. Like, I think all we all we talking about here, this is the one I watched the most, honestly, I remember. Like, anytime it was on, I would put it on. And that's, of course, the TV movie Scooby-Doo The Mystery Visit, a made-for-television movie that aired Cartoon Network. Like, do you remember the time Cartoon Network started doing live action stuff? Well, they actually started to do movies as well. One they decided to do is obviously a Scooby-Doo movie. This one probably because I don't think any of the franchise movies has done previously, if I remember correctly. Actually be telling the mystery gang on how they first met and the events of their first case. And I believe this is also coincide for the 40th anniversary of Scooby-Doo. Like I remember it was a huge hyped event, like hyped to the fucking roof, my boy. So I was really curious to see how I was gonna feel about this movie rewatching it many years later, because it's been years since I've seen this movie. So I wasn't sure what my thoughts were going to be, but it does tell the story on the first case. This time, possibly reboot, we got Kate Middleton playing Daphne, Haley Cuoco playing Velma, Frank Walker voicing Scooby-Doo, Robbie Amell playing Fred Jones, and Nick Powell, playing Shaggy. Again, this basically was just telling the story on how the mystery game came to be. Basically, Scooby ends up someone that was like up for adoption and everything, and then basically ends up being left behind and we didn't get adopted. Obviously, and then he ends up, and after seeing some ghosts, he ends up running into the bedroom with Shaggy, where they end up meeting and becoming friends. And after like an incident that happened on the bus between all of them, which caused the bus to crash into a flagpole, where they all get the tension. They end up meeting, together, having a nice share of mysteries, and then an incident happens that basically where they end up being framed for something they didn't even do, and it ends up leading to them trying to clear their names, but also bonding, and kind of led them to basically be the mystery games that we all know and love. Yeah, so again, I really wasn't sure how I was really going to feel about Mystery Games on this rewatch. I wasn't sure if I was going to be like, oh my god, this is still good as I remember it being, or if I was going to be like, oh, it's pretty bad. That's so good. I think especially since it's been like 15 years since this movie came out. I'm feeling old. But I can confidently say as we watch, I actually still enjoy this movie actually. Actually, it is as good as I remember it being. I'm like, again, I still think Monster Leash Ball the better one, but for a TNT movie and because of Network, actually wasn't bad actually. Not like groundbreaking or anything, but I actually quite enjoyed it, not gonna lie. Yeah, I was actually surprised at how much I actually really enjoyed this movie, actually. Again, someone to previously mention, a lot of that is thanks to the cast. While they're not like off the previous movie's cast, they do pretty well. Again, while Nick Pratos is known as Shaggy Rogers, you can tell that he's not trying to be but he's trying to do like his own take on the character. Again, portraying Shaggy as more of kind of a social outcast, like who's very weird, off-putting, and just plain out weird. But again, I'm pretty sure I could tell that Shaggy was going to be a social outcast early in his life. And I think maybe he told me he got held back twice because he couldn't focus because he was always into food. I mean, that's Shaggy for you. So if you and Nick Plazas definitely does do a pretty good job with basically giving his own portrayal on the character. I'm not sure he's done anything. I'm not sure he's done anything since this, if I remember correctly, but he actually really doesn't actually. Oh, I'm not sure if he's done any, but yeah, like I said, he does a pretty good job at basically doing his own take on the character. And he has some pretty fun one-liners. It's a pretty nice, heartwarming moments, not gonna lie. Especially with his relationship with Scooby-Doo, showing the origin of how they met, honestly. Yeah, the blow back and forth them. Also, their first meeting was actually pretty sweet, and I still remember very fondly. And it's super great in my face, honestly. And his back and forth, a lot of the characters is great as well. Again, you got Kate Middleton playing that. Like, I'm not sure this actress really done. Oh, okay, makes sense. But she does a pretty good job playing Daphne and bringing more interesting elements to her character. Again, got here Kuroko, who is also a pretty talented actress. So I've seen a couple other stuff, and also, by the way, her music's amazing. You guys have checked out her music; it's incredible. And Hannah was also she's probably the most talented one on this cast, honestly. And she definitely delivers probably the best performance I've ever wanted to follow, playing a good, interesting version of Velma. Having some pretty nice emotional scenes as well, I'm not gonna lie. Then you have Robbie Amell, who of course people know as the cousin of Stephen Amell. Again, people think it's the brother, but apparently it's his cousin. I think the guy who played Jimmy Chu Jackson. But he's also been like a lot of other stuff. Like, you know, he's on I Met Your Mother after this, and a couple of other shows, and he also played Firestone with The Flash, and I think he's a lead role in the show The Upload that I still need to watch. But I'm saying this guy is a pretty talented actor. The guy is an incredibly talented actor. And he does a pretty good job playing his own take of Fred. And not like the exact versions of the characters, but you know, considering this is like the origin story, how they met, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. For the characters not be like truly 100% like who they end up being. And they do a good job of exploring these characters, giving them at least a little bit backstory and giving them a little bit insight on who they are. And they have pretty solid chemistry, which are most older Jack and Scooby, but even Fred and Daphne has the fun moments. Even Daphne and Velma has some pretty solid moments as well. So yeah, the cast really elements. Again, the mystery is fine, honestly. Like, the mystery is not the most engaging mystery in the world, but again, considering it's the first mystery they're doing, it makes sense for it to be a little bit basic, but it does have more stakes at least with them, you know, trying to clear their names and trying to clear themselves for something they didn't even do or didn't have anything to do against, obviously, and seeing their friendship blossom, which actually feels very natural. It actually feels nice back and forth between each other as well. I don't know, I'll definitely say the mystery, it's the person who ends up doing it actually ended up being kind of surprised, honestly, which I think some ways should, like, honestly, it feels a little bit over the top and when actually who ends up being, which I'm not going to say, but I like that. He also gets some pretty fun supporting characters. Most of them, the librarian has some pretty hilarious moments. Even the principals themselves, like Principal Deal and Principal Grams, have some pretty fun moments. Again, Grams can be a bit like the over-the-top principal and like that cliche, but he at least comes around at least, and he does have some fun moments. And I think it's pretty solid as well. Again, another instance where CGI is still pretty rough, but you know, again, this is made for TV, as it's kind of what we're talking about, so I honestly kind of expect that, honestly. I think most notable one's opposite Scooby-Doo, obviously. Like, honestly, Scooby-Doo looks terrible in the next movie we're talking about. It's definitely not to the point where like burns the movie or anything, or it's distracting, but it's pretty noticeable. Even the feature on the ghosts and the actual monsters, I think most notable those are a bit rough. So yeah. Again, it's made TV Cartoon Network, so obviously. But I do like this being kind of like a nice origin story and explaining like how they end up seeing their first mystery and how they come to how the solving mysteries came to be. And again, how the origins of certain things, obviously, which while something may be a little bit like too obvious and too just in your face and that, the Scooby's acting. My thing was obviously he ends up making those and everything, and and Scooby didn't really so into them that, so yeah. After going for the whole Scooby Snack bit that he ended up doing throughout the show, Scooby Snack. Like they're kind of in your face, but they aren't distracting. Like they're like very fan service moments, but they're not distracting moments. And like nice little nods, like a little in your face, but they're not distracting. Again, I'm actually surprised and happy to say that I did enjoy this movie. I did still have a good time with it. Nothing extraordinary or anything, but considering notes, by match standards, it's definitely one of the better ones. Obviously, I'm actually also gonna go A- to the movie. Obviously, most of the least is a bit better, mostly because of the mystery, but for being an origin story, it definitely was actually much better than it actually could have been, honestly. And again, put a smile on my face, had pretty solid humor, acting is pretty solid as well. Some pretty good origin story all around. Okay, now we get to the final movie on this list, and that is Scooby-Doo Curse of the Lake Monster. Also, what I gotta mention about Mr. Begins is that song that plays You and I is actually a pretty catchy, fun song. It's one of the songs that for some reason gets really stuck in my head randomly. Even though I haven't seen the movie, like, when I'm without you, there's no reason for my story. When I'm with you, I can know. Whenever will. Do you remember that song actually? I don't know, it's pretty catchy, especially like, but anyway, now we get to the 5 minutes list, Curse of the Lake Monster. Again, I remember having it on constantly, and it actually aired like a year later after Mr. Begins, honestly. And I think they're like with Monster Legion, I think they were originally going to have a third one, but then getting cancelled. And I always say, I still enjoyed it. Honestly, after watching it, I still enjoy this one. Again, Curse of the Lake Monster is probably the least best of these movies, but it's a movie I still had a good time with. It's basically seeing like Shaggy, Velma, and Scooby-Doo, and that Shaggy basically still solve mysteries, some occasions going around, and they basically go to meet Daffy's uncle, who gives them some of the jobs to help back them to some previous mystery that happened, and then like some mysterious monsters end up appearing, and some serious like witches and monsters appearing at that. But of course, this also continues a lot more of the origin stuff, explaining like why have these characters never been like in any relationships with each other. But that apparently is supposed to be apparently was canon at the time with the actual Scooby-Doo franchise, so it's more explaining why they never like got into a run into each other, and like explain the romance between Fran and Daphne, and even Shaggy and Velma. Again, he basically got the same cast coming back, Rami Mel, Hill Cuoco, King Milton McPentis, and Mike Walker. And he also got Tim McGilly, Richard Knowles, and Marion Loss. Again, to be honest, I really don't have a lot to say about the movie, I'm being honest. Like, again, it's a pretty solid, fun movie with the mystery. It's probably the most beautiful on this list, especially if you know what happens in the beginning and what goes on. It's just like, yeah, that's pretty obvious. Like, come on. Like, you think we're gonna never notice that? Again, I think it's still solid. Chemistry together is still pretty good. Not too keen on the romance. I'm gonna try to go for these characters here and how they had to actually end it, honestly, which kind of explains why they never got into a romance, like, in the actual series, because probably this is apparently canon to that. But that's all again, pretty solid, fun, full moments. Cubic kind of a dick here, honestly, at times. Like, he's better likable here, honestly. But the chemistry is still pretty there. The fun moments still pretty good. The nods are still pretty fun as well. You do get some more blatant nods here. CGI still sucks, honestly, and honestly, the final battle is kind of weak if you really think about it, because of the aspect I mentioned. But I mean, you do get obviously some fun nods explaining like certain aspects of the franchise. I'm sorry, I really don't have much to say with me. It's definitely a B, honestly. Like, I don't think any of these movies are generally bad, honestly. I'm actually surprised at how much I enjoyed all these movies. And Curse of the Lake Monster is still a solid one I can definitely see myself coming back to. But overall, I just don't really have a lot to really say about it. Sorry. Well, guys, that is my latest episode of the Road Trip, where I talk about all 4 of the live-action Scooby-Doo movies. It was actually kind of fun revisiting these movies for so long, honestly. And honestly, maybe in the future I might actually do videos on the other Scooby-Doo animated movies that I used to rewatch. So definitely expect that coming very soon. I think I might actually do a marathon where I watch all these movies, because I think there's some I actually never watched. I mean, I don't know, I really love into it, honestly, but it was definitely fun, obviously, rewatching these movies. I'm looking back at a lot of the fun aspects of these characters, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why Scooby-Doo is popular. So I do hope you all enjoyed this last road trip. Again, let me know your thoughts on all 4 of these movies down below in the comment section. Got a lot more exciting content coming your way. I am Sarah One World from Cinema Productions. I will see you next time. As always, stay cool, everybody. Peace.